Hello everyone, I want to speak to you today about something that determines, more than almost anything else, whether you will live the life you desire or fall short of your potential. That thing is focus, the ability to hold your attention, your discipline, your energy, and your effort on the goals that matter most to you. We live in an age where our attention is pulled in 1,000 different directions, where every device, every app, every feed, and every notification is designed to fragment your concentration. And because of that, millions of people with extraordinary potential lose their direction, not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because they cannot center their minds long enough to move consistently toward their goals. Today, I want to give you not just a speech but an awakening. I want to help you understand the nature of focus, the psychology behind it, the forces that undermine it, and the habits and mindsets that will allow you to protect it. Because if you can master your focus, you can change your life. Let us begin with a truth that is often forgotten in our modern world. Focus is not something you are born with, it is something you build. Just like strength is developed through exercise, and confidence is developed through repetition, focus is strengthened through deliberate practice. If your focus today feels weak, it is not because you are incapable, it is because you have been trained by the world to be distracted. We live in an environment engineered to make you reactive, impulsive, easily lured by the next piece of stimulation. Every time you check your phone impulsively, every time you multitask, every time you scroll without intention, you are teaching your mind that it does not need to hold its attention on anything for long. But here is the good news: just as the mind can be trained to be distracted, it can also be retrained to be laser sharp. Focus begins with clarity. You cannot concentrate on a goal that is vague, blurry, or uncertain. The mind resists unclear tasks. When you do not know exactly what you want, distraction becomes the default. But when your goals become specific, vividly clear in your mind, emotionally compelling, detailed, measurable, personal, focus becomes a natural response. Clarity creates direction, and direction preserves energy. When your mind knows where it is going, it stops wandering toward everything else. And clarity must be personal. Too many people set goals based on what society expects, what their family wants, or what they think will impress others. But those goals do not ignite your soul, and goals that do not stir your emotions will never hold your focus. You must choose goals that come from your deepest truth, your own desires, your own dreams, your own values. Only personally meaningful goals can hold your attention through the storms of life. But clarity alone is not enough. You must understand your purpose behind the goals you set. Purpose is the emotional engine of focus. When your why is strong, the how becomes easier. If you try to build focus through sheer willpower alone, it will eventually collapse. But if your focus is driven by purpose, something you care deeply about, something that feels meaningful, something that resonates with your identity, then focus begins to emerge effortlessly. When you have a powerful reason for your actions, even difficult tasks feel lighter, and the temptation to drift fades because you're anchored to a deeper mission. You cannot casually pursue something and expect unwavering concentration. You must pursue something that feels necessary, essential, something your heart refuses to ignore. Now let us talk about the modern enemy of focus, distraction. People often blame technology for distraction, but technology is not the fundamental problem. It is merely the tool that reveals a deeper truth. Distraction does not begin when you get a notification. Distraction begins the moment you attempt to avoid an uncomfortable emotion or task. Procrastination is not laziness, it is emotional avoidance. You avoid difficult work because it makes you uncomfortable. You avoid discipline because it challenges you. You avoid your goals because they require you to confront your fears, fears of failure, fears of inadequacy, fears of change, fears of responsibility. When you understand that distraction is emotional avoidance in disguise, you begin to reclaim your power. Because instead of blaming the external world, you can confront the internal world. You can acknowledge that you are not avoiding the task, you are avoiding the feelings associated with it. And once you face the feeling, the distraction loses its power. As you build greater focus, it becomes essential to structure your goals in a way your brain can follow. The mind loves specificity and measurability. Vague ambitions like be more successful or be healthier do not create focus because they provide no clear path. Your brain does not know where to begin. But when you define your goals with precision, for example, exercise 3 times a week, save a specific amount of money each month, write for 20 minutes every morning, or study 1 chapter a day, suddenly the mind has a target it can act upon. Focus strengthens when the path is broken down into small, manageable actions. Huge goals can overwhelm the mind and cause avoidance. But small, daily steps feel achievable, and when you complete them, your brain receives dopamine, reinforcing the behavior. So progress becomes addictive in a good way. Beyond daily action, your goals must connect to your identity. You will always revert to the habits that match your identity because identity shapes behavior at the deepest level. If you say, I want to wake up early, you are describing inaction. But if you say, I am the kind of person who wakes up early, you are building an identity. And identity creates consistency. Focus becomes natural when your actions align with who you believe yourself to be. To focus on your goals, you must become the kind of person who focuses on their goals, a person who does not delay what matters, a person who does not fold under pressure, a person who does not abandon their dreams at the first sign of resistance. Understanding how the brain works is essential for mastering long-term focus. The brain operates in 2 modes, the goal-setting mode and the goal-getting mode. The conscious mind sets the goal, the subconscious mind executes the habits required to achieve it. If you rely only on your conscious mind, you'll struggle, because the conscious mind gets tired easily. But when repeated actions become subconscious habits, focus becomes automatic. Your subconscious mind does not negotiate or procrastinate, it simply follows patterns. When you make your goals a part of your daily routine, when you do them at the same time each day, when you remove decisions and rely on habit, you bypass resistance and enter flow. However, building this mental foundation is only half the work. You must also protect your focus from the forces that constantly threaten it. One of the biggest threats is digital distraction. Your phone, while useful, is designed to hijack your attention through dopamine loops. Every swipe, every notification, every ping trains your brain to crave stimulation. Over time, this weakens your ability to hold focus. You must learn to control your environment. A cluttered environment leads to a cluttered mind, and a mind surrounded by constant temptation cannot maintain long periods of concentration. You must engineer your surroundings so that your desired actions become easy and your distractions become difficult. That may mean keeping your phone in another room while working, cleaning your workspace before beginning, or scheduling specific times to use social media rather than letting it control you. Another enemy of focus is multitasking. Despite what many people believe, multitasking is not efficient. It is simply rapid task switching, which drains mental energy and reduces performance. The brain can truly focus on only one thing at a time. When you multitask, your mind constantly shifts gears, and this exhausts your ability to concentrate. The most focused individuals in history did not scatter their attention, they concentrated deeply on one thing at a time. If you want to achieve something meaningful, you must value depth over speed, quality over quantity, intentional action over chaotic movement. Now let us turn toward the habits practiced by those who have mastered focus. They guard the first moments of their day fiercely. The first hour after waking is the most powerful window of mental clarity you will experience. Many people waste it by scrolling on their phone, instantly flooding their brain with noise and comparison. But those who value focus begin their day with intention. They take a moment for stillness, reflection, movement, and prioritization. They begin with purpose, not distraction. They choose their direction for the day rather than reacting to everything that comes their way. They also cultivate deep work, prolonged, uninterrupted periods of intense concentration. Deep work is rare in modern society, which makes it incredibly valuable. It is during deep work that breakthroughs happen, skills advance, creativity expands, and results multiply. To practice deep work, you must commit to focusing on one important task for a set period of time with no interruptions. This practice builds mental endurance, strengthens your focus, and leads to extraordinary progress. Those who maintain strong focus also follow a principle I call the rule of one. At any given time, you should aim to pursue one major goal with primary intensity. When you try to chase 5 important goals at once, your energy becomes diluted. But when you focus on one primary mission, your power increases exponentially. This does not mean you cannot work on multiple areas of life, but one goal should lead and the others should support. The human mind thrives on singular concentration. Another powerful habit is building systems rather than relying on willpower. Willpower is temporary. It fluctuates depending on mood, fatigue, and circumstances. But systems are stable. They create consistency regardless of how you feel. A system is a structured routine, schedule, or environment that makes your desired behavior automatic. If you want to get fit, create a system for when, where, and how you exercise. If you want to study daily, create a system that removes friction. Systems succeed where motivation fails. Equally important is the practice of elimination. Most people attempt to improve focus by adding new habits, new tools, or new commitments. But the real power lies in removing what does not serve you. The key to focus is not doing more, it is doing less, more intentionally. You must remove the noise to hear your own thoughts, remove the clutter to see your path, remove the distractions to protect your future. As your focus strengthens, you can begin using advanced strategies to refine it further. Time blocking is an effective technique where you assign specific blocks of time to specific tasks. This reduces decision fatigue and provides structure. Another helpful strategy is the 5-minute rule. If a task feels overwhelming, commit to doing it for just 5 minutes. Once you begin, the mental resistance dissolves, and momentum carries you forward. You can also adopt a no-option mentality where you eliminate negotiation with yourself. When you commit to something, treat it as non-negotiable. Discipline thrives when decisions are made once, not repeatedly. But focus is not only needed when life is calm. You must also learn to maintain focus through adversity. Life will present challenges, failures, disappointments, and interruptions. You will face periods when motivation is low and when progress feels slow. In those moments, you must remember that focus is not a feeling, it is a commitment. You must expect obstacles rather than being surprised by them. You must remain flexible with your strategies but firm with your goals. You must remember that setbacks are not signs of failure but tests of perseverance. The most successful people in history did not achieve greatness because they avoided difficulty, they achieved greatness because they moved forward despite difficulty. At the heart of sustained focus lies discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what must be done even when you do not feel like it. Your emotions will fluctuate. Some days you will feel inspired, other days you will feel tired or overwhelmed. But discipline bridges the gap between inspiration and achievement. Every time you act with discipline, you strengthen your character. Every time you ignore excuses, you reinforce your identity as someone who keeps their promises. Discipline is not punishment, it is power, the power to choose your future over your comfort. To maintain focus on your goals for months or years, you must track your progress. What you measure improves. Tracking creates accountability, builds momentum, and reminds you that your efforts matter. You should also review your progress regularly. Reflection helps you learn from mistakes, refine your strategy, and renew your commitment. Progress is not linear, it moves in cycles. But if you remain consistent, the results will compound over time. And so, as we come to the final idea, I want to remind you of something profound: the future belongs to the focused. In a world of noise, the person who can concentrate becomes unstoppable. In a world of distraction, the person who can direct their attention becomes powerful. In a world where everyone is reacting, the person who acts with purpose becomes exceptional. You must choose who you want to be. You must choose whether you will drift or lead, whether you will be controlled by distraction or guided by intention, whether you will settle for comfort or strive for meaning. Focus is the gateway between your present self and your future self. It is the bridge that connects dreams to reality. And it is a power within your reach. Decide today that your goals are worth your attention. Decide that your potential is worth the effort. Decide that your purpose is worth the discipline. If you protect your focus will protect your dreams. If you strengthen your focus will strengthen your future. And if you master your focus, you will master your destiny. Alright guys, if you got some value out of this, go ahead and drop a like, share the video around, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate every single one of you tuning in.